Hey, good morning. I'm Dr. Michelle Petacola, founder of Secrets of Life and Death and Second Chance Secrets, empowering or helping smart men and women to reinvent their lives after a loss, divorce, or significant life challenge. And you may have noticed that we're all going through a significant life challenge right now. We are in the midst of change. And the topic I have today is riding the waves of change instead of floundering. And there are three things that you need to keep in mind in navigating change, in being able to do it in a way that you can survive. First of all, I want you to let go of your frustration with change, with what's going on in the world, the environmental crisis, the geopolitical conflict, the astrological transformation that we've been going through. To let go of it is something that you need to fight. It's part of what is going on in our world right now. The universe, your inner spirit, is calling you to change. And biologically, the only time significant change ever happens is when we are forced to change, when we are forced to make the leap. And that's what we are being forced to do right now. And I've worked with people for years, more than 20 years, around grief and loss. In fact, I wrote my PhD thesis on Gestalt therapy groups and noticed that in order for people to change, they had to make a leap. They had to let go of what was before and step into the new. And that's scary. And a lot of people, they cling on to the past. They hold on to the past and what was before and don't want to make that leap. And sometimes you literally can't because you don't have the energy, you don't have the resources, you don't know what to do. So that's what my talk is about today, is three things that you need to keep in mind in flowing, in swimming, in riding the seas of change. Number one is your higher self, your spirit, connection to the divine. You're like, whoa, where's she going? My yoga teacher used to say, you are a spiritual being having a human adventure. Now, if you take that as truth, how does that change the way in which you look at your life and what's going on in your life? That this is all an adventure, not to take it so seriously, and yet maybe to take it even more seriously. I'm a spiritual being having a human adventure. And if you don't want to take it from my yoga teacher, you might want to listen to the words of Albert Einstein, a brilliant physicist. He said you have a choice. You can either believe that everything is random, or you can believe that everything is a miracle. And you can guess where I am on that equation. I'm definitely on the miracle side of life. So what you want to do to help you ride the waves of change is to connect with your spirit. What are your spiritual beliefs? What are your spiritual practices that give you that resilience? And if you don't have many practices, please check out my Facebook group, Share Your Brilliance Trainings, or you can come to my YouTube channel, and that, I'm going to put the link in later, but right now, look for Release Your Grief and Thrive YouTube. Don't just put Release Your Grief and Thrive, Lord knows where you're going to go with that, but put YouTube and you will find my channel, and then you can find my cemetery, my sunrise diaries, which what this is right now, or there are also the Empowered Life series. So there's a lot of really good material that can help you to tap into your brilliance. So that's number one. That's key number one. Key number two is your body. Remember, you're a spiritual being having a human adventure. And in having this human adventure, you are residing, riding, inhabiting your body. And your body has its own agenda. It is made up of 300 billion cells, all with a directive to keep you alive. And they work very well at that. There are a lot of systems for keeping you alive. But you need to help out. You need to help this body out. You need to watch what you're eating. You need to get exercise. This body thrives on exercise and a certain amount of stress, like running or lifting weights or fasting. The body actually does better. Now, if you haven't done anything for a long time, you want to go slowly. You don't want to damage the body because it's out of practice and then put yourself in a hospital or in a bed somewhere. That's not going to help you out. But you do need to work the body. Let's see, what else? Oh, you need to release emotions. So I was on a call with a woman yesterday. We were doing a session and tapping into what was going on, what was making her life difficult. And it turns out she had this big wall around her heart. And she started to cry. She says, I don't want to cry. I said, yes, you do want to cry. You want to release those emotions. You need to let those emotions go. And we worked through that. And she has a dog that has a heart murmur and a heart problem. And I said, you know, your animal, whatever your animal's going through, your animal companion, is probably a reflection of what's going on with you. And she says, yeah, I have a heart murmur too. I said, your animal companion is there to wake you up, to remind you. And the more difficult they are, the more they are trying to say, hello, pay attention. It's just like your body. When your body is upset, it sends you messages. It sends you pain. It sends you emotions. It's trying to wake you up that you need to reorganize. You need to take care of yourself. So that's number 2, the body. Number 3 is the mind. You need to watch what you're feeding your mind with. If you're spending a lot of time watching the news, which is all about creating rage or disgust, then you may need to limit your amount of consumption of that material. We do not watch violent movies because it triggers a fear response in the body. Do I need that? I got enough fear in my life without creating more. But sometimes people go to that because they're dead inside and they go to get excited. I can think of a lot more wonderful things to get excited about than people getting hacked up or beat up. That's just not my idea of entertainment. Although I know there's a long history of it going all the way back to the Romans. So you want to watch what you're putting in your head. And if you connect with the brilliance part, the spiritual part of yourself, and remember, I am a spiritual being on a human adventure, that helps you to put things in perspective. Looking things at the world in a different way so that you don't feel like a victim, that you don't feel put upon. And by the way, I think that this whole chaos that's going on, this huge wave of change that we're going through right now, makes it a little easier for the rest of us who are just struggling with our poor individual miserable lives or struggles, that you see it in a more global way. Now finally, I want to say that we're here for more than just to navigate change. The change is here for us to make that leap. And the leap that we want to make is into our own unique brilliance, our own gifts, our own mission. That each one of us has something to offer, to give to this world. Hi, thank you for joining. Good morning. I'm talking about riding the seas of change. And I've talked about 3 things that you need to get in alignment. And I'm going back again to the first one, which is connecting with your brilliance, your unique creativity, your source. And so one of the things that I do is I not only empower people to reinvent themselves, and I wouldn't say reinvent themselves, but actually rediscover themselves after a significant change, but actually to utilize that as the gateway to who you really are, what you're meant to be doing. And that's the work that I do. I I give motivational speakers, leaders, change makers, a method for monetizing their message and their mission to get their information out to the world by creating high-end transformational programs. So if that's you, check out the various things that I already mentioned on this session. Share Your Brilliance trainings on Facebook, and Release Your Grief and Thrive on YouTube. And check out and see if some of the things that I have to say resonate with you, if this is something that fits with you. And then if it does, maybe we can have a talk. That's it for today. It's going to rain. I haven't been doing these sunrise diaries lately because it's been cold, and my hands are already getting cold right now, but this morning it was a little bit warmer. It is going to be raining today, so I better get back home before it does start raining. Have a great rest of the week. Be brilliant, and bye for now.